Nearly 3 weeks after Hannah Anderson was rescued from the Idaho wilderness, there is still no clear answer to why James DiMaggio, a longtime family friend, did what investigators say he did. The tragedy has spun out a half a dozen theories. One of the most stunning came from DiMaggio's sister, Laura, who told Piers Morgan it's possible her brother was a victim. Here's what she said about Hannah Anderson.
I remember very vividly telling my brother, she's trouble. I said, you need to watch out for that one. She's trouble.
But if as you believe she was trouble, then it may well be that your brother became infatuated with her.
Well, I know that she said she was. I know that, Jim did express at that time that she stated that she was, very upset with her mother. She blamed her mother for her father moving to Tennessee. In my heart of hearts, I think that Hannah perhaps got herself into a situation that she couldn't get herself out of, and I do believe that my brother gave his life to protect her.
Gave his life to protect her. A lot of people obviously found those remarks incredibly offensive. Hannah Anderson is a 16-year-old girl who's lost her mother and brother. We don't know what she endured before her rescue. CNN's Drew Griffin has the latest.
Hannah Anderson arrived at the memorial service for her mother and brother seemingly in an upbeat mood. Family members say it is a facade. They tell CNN she's confused, not sure how to act in the face of terrible tragedy. But according to even those in her own family, there are many unanswered questions. Why did a longtime family friend named Jim DiMaggio kill Hannah Anderson's mother, Christina, and Hannah's 8-year-old brother, Ethan? What led DiMaggio, as authorities believe, to leave behind timers that would set his California desert cabin ablaze with the 2 murder victims inside? And a question just as mysterious and far more delicate for members of Hannah Anderson's own family: why did DiMaggio allow Hannah to survive and in fact kidnap her on a 1,000-mile journey to Idaho?
There's some thinking along that line that maybe this man was terribly infatuated or more with Hannah, and it looks like it was very premeditated in my view.
In fact, there is more evidence DiMaggio may have been infatuated with a 16-year-old girl who grew up calling him Uncle Jim. Hannah Anderson's friend Marissa Chavez recalled a car ride with Uncle Jim and an awkward admission.
He said, "Don't think I'm weird or creepy, Uncle Jim. I just want you to know that if you were my age, I'd date you."
In the beginning, I was a victim, but now, knowing everyone out there is helping me, I consider myself a survivor instead.
Hannah Anderson's brief comments on the NBC Today show confirm what little police have said. Hannah Anderson is a victim.
I want to emphasize that during the law enforcement interviews with Hannah, it became very clear to us, very clear, that she is a victim in every sense of the word in this horrific crime. From the time of her abduction in Boulevard to her recovery in Idaho by the FBI's hostage rescue team, she was under extreme duress.
2 weeks after making that statement, nothing's changed here at the Sheriff's Department. Their investigation has found Hannah Anderson was nothing more than a victim in this case, pure and simple. Jim DiMaggio was the perpetrator, and he is dead. The case closed. It is cut and dry.
And for them, it's cut and dry.
Jennifer Willis is the late Christina Anderson's aunt, born 3 years apart. They were more like sisters, she says.
I just get this feeling that it's not as cut and dry as it seems. I just get this feeling that I don't know how he could have done something like that to his friends. I just don't feel at ease about it at all. And, it's not cut and dry.
For years, Jim DiMaggio was the family friend. The cabin DiMaggio owned an hour outside of San Diego was the Anderson family getaway. But Willis says in the past year, the family dynamics had changed. Christina and Brett Anderson, Hannah's parents, had separated. Brett Anderson moved to Tennessee. Then, according to Jennifer Willis, DiMaggio began to face financial troubles that eventually led to foreclosure on the cabin they all loved. Jennifer talked to Christina just days before her murder.
She came to me. She said he's having a hard time. He's losing his house. He's short on money. He doesn't know what to do. He's depressed. And she went there to be by his side one last time. That's the kind of person she was. Dropped everything and went there for him.
That's apparently when DiMaggio snapped. Christina and Ethan's bodies, or what was left of them, were found in this burned-down cabin. Court documents show Ethan's body so badly charred, an autopsy could not determine the exact cause of his death. Christina Anderson had been hit in the head, wrapped in a tarp, and left to burn, leaving a host of unanswered questions, including why.
Beside the fact for him, he's sick, he's a monster, he did what he did. Why did it have to happen to them?
Why did it happen to Tina and Ethan and not to Hannah?
Right.
I mean, I hate to ask these questions almost because we're dealing with a teenager, but was there any relationship between her and Jim DiMaggio?
None that I am aware of, none that anyone was aware of. I would never have imagined anything like that with her.
Amidst all the turmoil, Hannah Anderson's family is now trying to determine what happens next. The teenager is dealing with the loss of her mother and brother and the sudden return of her biological father, a man who returned from Tennessee, hiring a publicist who was talking book and movie deals, and telling Hannah's extended family his daughter will now live with him. Through that same publicist, Brett Anderson turned down CNN's request for an interview.
Hannah's back, she's safe, she's okay, and from there I think it should be left alone.
Relatives say Hannah will return to high school here in the next few days and try to live, quote, as normal life as possible.
Drew, there are a lot of unanswered questions, especially by the families on both sides of this tragedy. The sheriff's office, they basically stopped talking, right?
That's right. And really, they have not released anything in the past week. The only thing left to learn here, Anderson, and possibly to be released publicly, is the toxicology report on Jim DiMaggio. Was there anything in his system that could explain why he did what he did? Those results should be back within a couple of weeks and maybe released, Anderson.
And as for the connection between DiMaggio and Hannah Anderson, as well as any motive, police are still investigating, correct?
They are, and what is taking place is they're wrapping up their reports. That doesn't mean those reports are going to be released. I talked to the sheriff's department today. They believe the case is wrapped up. Jim DiMaggio killed 2 people, kidnapped a third, died in a police confrontation. That's the end of the story, according to the police. California law does not require those investigative reports, which is what's being put together now, to be released, and they most likely won't be. As far as Hannah Anderson is concerned, I got to tell you, Anderson, I talked to Sheriff Gore this past Sunday night. Most of that conversation was off the record, but he did say this. This girl's a minor. Her privacy is protected, and it will be protected by his office, even if that means not sharing information with members of Jim DiMaggio's family or even Hannah's family.